I actually started my bullet journal last year when I was promoted as the officer in charge in the hemodialysis unit around July, mainly because the tasks that were endorsed to me were just too many, and I needed everything to be jotted down on a piece of paper, and I think bullet journal is the perfect idea. So at first, as expected, I had a lot of enthusiasm to personalize every page of it. But then, since at that time I was still at the adjustment period, maintaining it was also getting too much and just adding up to the whole workload. So that was just a month and a half. And to be honest, I could really see a difference as soon as I stopped doing it. I wasn't able to keep track anymore of the deadlines. I was submitting documents past the deadlines, and gone were the days when I was being praised for submitting ahead of everyone else, because it was already I who was being followed up. So now that the new year has finally started, I wanted to make things right. And again, I have the perfect excuse to start a new bullet journal. And guess what? I finally found the perfect method of jotting down notes that truly works for me, and I want to share it with you all guys. But before I'm going to do that, let me first set up my 2020 bullet journal. Okay, so now that I'm done setting up, let me show you my monthly and weekly spread for this month using the method that I'm eager to tell you about. It's actually the Alastair method and the Dutch doors. Here it is. I've actually done Dutch doors last year, but it didn't work out for me, and is also the reason why I stopped bullet journaling, because it was just too high maintenance. Like, I need to cut a couple of pages every week, and the excitement to do it just suddenly faded away. Compared to this one, 5 pages is all I need to cut, and that's for the whole month. So less time maintaining it and more time to list down all tasks. So as you can see, every page is labeled with these DIY tabs. A whole 2-page spread is already good for 1 week, and that's only for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 full page spread. So my week starts on a Monday, which is 6 for this week, because I usually do all the planning for the whole week on a Sunday. You might also be wondering why my month starts on January 6th, because the first day of January began in the middle of the week, and as I mentioned earlier, I do the planning on a Sunday, which explains behind this first Dutch door from January 6 to 12. Since it's still the first week, I haven't touched the pages for the remaining weeks yet. Now, moving on to the Alastair method, I've just learned about this recently from Bohoberry, and it's an amazing way to future log your week. So instead of using the typical weekly spread where you write the task corresponding to the day you are going to accomplish it, you list all the tasks you plan to do for the week on one side. And on the other side, you draw columns for the days of the week, but only labeling it using the first letter. And the last column should be for the incomplete task to be migrated for the next week. So how I do it is I'm just going to tick off any of these columns depending on what particular day I accomplished the task. Doesn't need to be in order as how I put the task here. Doesn't need that this first task should be finished first before I go through to the next line. Because as I've mentioned, this is a future log. So any task that you plan to accomplish for the whole week or for this week, you just log on here. And so as you can see, there are blanks here that are not ticked off yet, which means I haven't yet accomplished this one. So since I'm just starting with this kind of method, I kind of, confused all the columns. So I kind of missed looking at the top label on which day is it currently. So instead of ticking off the Wednesday, I accidentally or I mistakenly tick off Tuesday. So I had to make that an X mark so that to mark that I finished this task on the Wednesday. So since this is still a work in progress, the other page is still blank, and I'm still gonna think as to what will I put here. I might add here things to buy or a brain dump since I do monthly meetings, so maybe dumping some thoughts here could actually help me in finalizing my agenda for the meeting. Or if ever the space here has been consumed, then I guess I'm just gonna use this for another Alastair method as a continuation of the previous page. So there you go. That's my bullet journal setup and my January monthly and weekly spread. So thank you guys.